Welcome to Archives Theories. For the first episode of today, we've got Sylvester. I'd like to welcome you, Sylvester. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm alright.
How's your day been?
My day's been alright.
Today, we're going to be talking about some conspiracy theories that you may or may not have heard of. So, have you heard about conspiracy theories in the past?
Not much, just like not really often. Like some people do say it, but like not often. I don't really hear it that often.
Okay, so are you familiar with some theories, or are you kind of into that stuff or not?
There are some. I've seen like horror conspiracy theories, but I haven't seen like a lot. I've only seen like a select few.
Okay, so do you want to share some of them conspiracy theories with me, or if you have some in mind?
I think there was one with a guy who was called Jeff the Killer, and he had no eyelids, so his eyes were always open.
Is that the one with like the smile and like the white face?
Yeah. There's also Slender Man as well, and no, that's really it. Like Slender Man and Jeff the Killer.
What was Slender Man's theory?
Slender Man's theory is that if you went into the forest, you would find him in the forest, in certain forests. But like that's why two girls went to the forest to find Slender Man. I don't think they found him. But yeah, Slender Man's been a big theory for like years now. Everyone knows, like, not everyone, but like majority of people know who he is. So,
to describe him, was he a scary person, or what was his like objective to do with them people?
I think like Slender Man was a figure, like a very tall and like he's very tall and very skinny. Like he wears a white mask, he wears a suit, he has gloves, and he I think his objective, I can't remember what he actually tries to do, but it's a horror cat. He's a horror themed character, so I assume that he's gonna do something really terrible.
That thing put me off. If I'm not mistaken, there was a game made by him, right?
Yeah, it was a Slender Man game.
And you had to collect pages or some sort of like that.
If you looked at him, your camera would go like, I think it was the camera. The character was holding the camera, and like if you looked at him, the camera would go static, and it would just like turn off.
That's how you know he was nearby or something. Yeah.
I remember YouTubers played that game. A lot of YouTubers played that.
It was very popular as well.
Yeah, it was.
Like PewDiePie, Jack Spectacle, Markiplier, all of them.
KSI, all of them.
All of them played.
Used to play that.
That's pretty scary if you ask me. The Jeff the Killer one was apparently, was it like psychotic or something?
Yeah, I think like he killed people. That's the theory, that he's killed a lot. He killed like a group of people, and like he went missing. That's a theory of Jeff the Killer. Like when he was young, he got someone broke into his house, I think, and then he defended himself and like killed all of them with a knife, and then like he went insane and he cut his eyelids off, and then I think he went to the forest and didn't come back. I can't remember how the story goes, but it's something like that. Like he's just like pretty much a character, a figure of just horror. Like you just look at his face and you just be automatically scared because he doesn't look normal at all.
Yeah, that photo that you can see right now.
Yeah, I've seen the photo.
It was pretty creepy.
It was.
Yeah. Every time I see it, I just get chills. Yeah. Well, that was some pretty scary stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like horror. I like horror conspiracy theories because like it gets you thinking of like, it's like in movies. Some of the movies of like one of the examples is Halloween. Have you watched Halloween? Michael Myers.
No, I know. There's a game that has you playing as so many horror characters called Dead by Daylight, where you can play as Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Scream. I think
there was the guy from Stranger Things as well, that little creature thing.
I don't think it's in that game. But,
the
like,
Demigorgon or something.
yeah, I don't think it's in that game, unfortunately. But like, there's so many like horror characters. There's like spirits. There's a character with the machete. It's not Jason. Jason isn't in Dead by Daylight because of licensing reasons.
Okay.
He does have his own game for Friday the 13th, but he's not in Dead by Daylight because of licensing reasons.
Yeah, I played Friday the 13th. It wasn't a really good game, as in like mechanics wise, but it was actually kind of enjoyable when it first came out
Yeah.
because of the unique. Well, he chases you and you have to run and collect all these, like do the parts for the cars and all of that. It was pretty fun to do.
Similar to Dead by Daylight, where you have to build generators to get out of the area, otherwise you'll get captured and killed.
Oh wow.
You get sacrificed. You get like put onto a hook,
Oh, no.
and if you don't get out soon enough, the hook will like turn into like some type of supernatural thing, and it will impale you and kill you and take your soul.
Oh wow.
And if like you have to struggle, but you can't get off by yourself. You have to let your teammates do it. But if you like, that's the whole point of co-op. You have to play as a killer, which is any of the scary characters. Or you play as a normal character. You have to run away from the killer. There's only like one killer. There's like up to 5 strangers, and you all have to like escape. If they all die, the killer wins. But if one of them escapes, the killer loses.
No.
The killer has to kill all 5 of them, depending on how many people are in the match. And if he doesn't, then he fails.
Is it pretty hard to do?
It depends on the player. If the player sucks at being a killer, then it's easy for the most part. But if you're really good, then it's factoring player skill. If you're not good at being a killer, then it's gonna be very hard for you to actually win. It's not hard being a killer; it just takes practice. It's not. You're really overpowered when you think about it, because you have like the ability. Some of the abilities of the characters are kind of OP.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's one called Michael Myers in that game, I believe, is from Halloween.
Yeah.
And one of the theories that he has that he never dies in his movies. Like, as a child, he was a killer. He killed his sister, his mother, all in the household, and he got put into a mental as a kid, and then he escaped like 20 years later. But the thing is, every time he gets stabbed or like shot, he always comes back the next Halloween, and he doesn't get caught. And people are speculating that he's not really human,
Or he's a ghost or something.
or he's something that's supernatural.
Yeah, because there's no way that someone could survive all of that.
Oh, he survived a like stab through the eye, a shot, like he got shot multiple times and got up like it was nothing. I don't know if it's like some next superhuman strength that he has,
Or it's just supernatural. It's probably like something like to do with like would like dark magic or something.
Probably, most likely.
Something supernatural, because I don't think he's like I don't think he's like biologically like engineered or anything like that. I think he's just supernaturally like something happened to him, or he's possessed by something like that.
Yeah, most likely. Well, one of the theories that we're gonna go through right now is the pyramids. Have you heard about the pyramids? Like, are you interested in pyramids, or what do you know about the pyramids that's built in Egypt?
Well, I know that they were built by Egyptian slaves thousands of years ago, and yeah, that they were built in I don't know how long it took to be built. I think it took years, and they've been here for thousands of years. The materials, it's shocking how it was made off of like just like sand, and I don't even know what materials they used to make the pyramids, because
Very limited at that time.
It's very shocking how like they can make something like that and it lasts for thousands of years and nothing happened to it. It doesn't decay or anything. It's just still up.
There's a lot of questions about the pyramids, because if we look at one of the blocks of the pyramids, like what it was built by, like it's like a cube shaped
like
sand.
the geometry. Like, how did they know the geometry of the bricks?
Exactly. So like one of the cube shaped things that they made to make the pyramids, it was really tall and heavy, and me thinking like, okay, if it was made by slaves, like how can say 5 slaves on a block pick that up and align it like perfectly, and like the strength you need for that like is like it's very heavy apparently. Like not not a group of people can't even. It needs machinery. Like if it was to be modern day, machinery will be used to pick that up. So it got the people thinking, how have they aligned all them blocks perfectly aligned, by the way, and it has been standing for hundreds of years, maybe thousand.
It boggles my mind. It's been around for thousands of years. It's been around since BC, I think. Yeah, BC, since the Egyptian times. And the thing is about like.
That was in BC.
Yeah, it was in BC, and like the fact that they were able to build things like that is shocking because maths didn't exist in BC. It was only later on that they discovered maths and geometry and physics. Physics wasn't even like people. We didn't even know much about physics until like around. What was that dude? What was his name again? The guy whose guy's apple fell on his head. What's his name?
Einstein.
Yeah, not Einstein.
It was
Einstein. It was a different. What was his Newton?
Isaac Newton. My bad.
Isaac Newton. He made like the laws of physics.
Yeah.
And he how would they know all of that? That's what boggles my mind. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, the Egyptians were very good at maths somehow. Like most of them were smart, but
how did they know?
Yeah, maths? Again, how could they do? Yeah, how could they know the maths, and how can they? Like, how can they do the maths for that pyramid? Because it needs some smart brains for that.
Yeah, like proper architecture. Like obviously today we can do that because we have mathematicians, machinery, we have architects who can build ridiculous things. Like we got massive buildings, we got skyscrapers, we got all of that. We can build all those things easily.
Yeah.
But back in the day, how did they do that? How did they do that? And then back to ancient times, that's thousands of years ago. That was before that's before Christianity and that was even like a thing. Yeah. Actually, no, Christianity was in BC. Was it in BC or was it AD?
I think I'm not sure, to be honest.
It doesn't matter. But it's shocking. I don't know how to say.
So on this screen I'm showing up right now, all the pyramids are nearly all perfectly aligned, side by side, and it got me thinking, how is that possible? Because they don't have bird's eye view. They can't know where
they put each
even now, like a person can't look at it and be like, okay, this has to be here, that has to be there, and that has to be there, and it's nearly all perfect. And that just blows my mind because I don't think personally the Egyptians, they've done it by themselves.
Yeah, I believe that as well, because that doesn't.
I believe that they got help by some supernatural aliens or something like that, because these pyramids cannot be aligned by human without any knowledge of maths. Well, maybe not maths. Okay, forget maths, but bird's eye view or some next measurement that they needed to align all of these. Because if you look at it, it's near perfect. Furthermore, if you go to if you go inside the pyramids, there is pictures of UFOs scraped into the walls, and it got us thinking. It got us thinking about this theory that how is that camera weird?
No, it's on.
Huh?
It's on.
Oh. Yeah, so all of inside the pyramids there is carved into the walls that UFOs are actually there's pictures of UFOs in the sky and stuff, and it got us theories like it got the people theory. Oh shit. Alright, cool. In the pyramids, there is UFOs carved into the wall, and it got us thinking. How has the Egyptians, like, how would they know what a UFO is? Because it's perfectly circular, like how a UFO would be nowadays, and there's also some alien-shaped figures inside the pyramids. So I think that they got help by the by aliens.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't disagree with that because it doesn't make, and like, when you think about it logically, it doesn't make any sense how the aliens would be like, how the Egyptians would be able to align everything perfectly with all the bricks, all the layers, all the geometry that you need to calculate in order to make every brick align properly, being able to lift all the bricks and put them on properly to the point where even the top part of the pyramid, just everything just perfectly aligned.
Yeah,
It's
crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll ever know how it actually
Yeah,
was
we'll probably
built.
never know.
But it is a theory that a lot of people will still be wondering for maybe 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. Because it's something that is so damn near perfect with so little help. Well, maybe help. Or if it was to be natural, as in like people doing it, it's nearly damn impossible to do. So yeah, that covers for the first theory of our podcast, which is the pyramids. So the next theory we're gonna move into is the Mona Lisa theory. Do you know about Mona Lisa?
Yeah, of course.
Who was it? Do you know who was it made by?
Leonardo da Vinci.
That's correct. Leonardo da Vinci was a famous artist from back in the day.
He was also an architect.
He was also an architect. That's true. He made a famous painting called the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa was very famous for its just. I don't know why it was famous, but it was a painting of a woman that was just sitting down. Do you think that's art?
The thing is, art is a very vague word because it can be used in different forms. It's not just one thing. Art isn't just a painting.
Do you see art in that form?
Yeah, it is art. It's artistic. It's artistic because you can see the vision of the artist through the paint. That's the main theme of art is that you're supposed to see the writer's or the artist's vision and what they were trying to do with this art. That's why the Mona Lisa is so famous, is because it's just simple. It's such a simple painting, and it's like, because you know the phrase is a picture can like
say 1,000 words.
Yeah, say 1,000 words, and a video can only say like 10.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true what you said. Art could be seen as many ways. Art is different to every person. You can see art in a way. I can see art in a way, and art is something that's you share your ideas. Like everyone has different thoughts about one particular art, and they can see different things. But for this Mona Lisa theory, so allegedly, Leonardo da Vinci done this painting that people think that is a woman. Do you think that's a woman?
It looks like a woman.
It looks like a woman. Typically, it looks like a woman, right? However, how about if I told you that Leonardo da Vinci had a friend that was called... told you that da Vinci had a friend called Zelazzi, which was rumored to be his lover.
I mean, it wouldn't be far-fetched because, like, during that time, the Renaissance, because I'm assuming that's when Leonardo da Vinci was born, around the Renaissance, and I assume around that time, some men did look feminine. They looked like women. Some women did look like women because their hair was very long.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't put it past me if Mona Lisa was not actually a woman, it was a man.
Well, the theory is that for this, that Mona Lisa was actually Leonardo's friend called Zelay, which also liked to dress up as a girl for fun. And if you look at the two